Welcome back to Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR. Roger Hoover now pleased to be joined here at Saban Field at the Advantage Center by Rachel Rybicki of the Alabama Gymnastics team. Can you believe it's now your junior season competing for the Crimson Tide?
I can't believe it. I feel like everybody always tells you that stuff goes so quick and you enjoy every part of it, and you don't really start believing that and having it sink in until now that I'm an upperclassman. So it's been so exciting, and I look back, and Ash and I joke too that we're both juniors because we both got here at the same time, but it's crazy how much has happened, and it's really exciting too how much we have to come.
How much have you enjoyed this journey from when you've been on, when you signed with Alabama to where you are now?
I've loved the journey. I mean, if you would have told me when I committed that this would be where I am with this amazing coaching staff, I would have not believed any of it, but I truly believe that everything happens for a reason, and this is such a testament to that. It's just been an incredible journey being able to get to know the coaches and build a team that really has a strong culture that we believe in.
Let's start with this year's team. We've seen Alabama get off to a good start this year against North Carolina, and then some good scores along the way. I know the results maybe haven't gone as you'd liked, but how have you seen this team take steps forward week to week?
We always try to say that we want to just keep improving and keep getting better. For gymnastics terms, we say getting half-tenth better, working on our half-tenths. We define our wins. We try not to define them by scores because that's something that we can't control. We want to work on what we can control, which would be those half-tenths, our team culture, our attitudes, our energy, our investment, all of those things. And we just keep improving every week, which is something we're really proud of. And we may not have been having the results that we'd love to get, but we've been pulling wins out of that and also learning from that. And I also think it's really challenged this team to be really gritty and turn on our fight more, which is something that's just going to benefit us in the long run.
And is last year a really good example, too, of what happens when you have that mindset? Because look at how strong Alabama closed, first in SECs and then eventually to NCAAs.
Yes, it's definitely something that the girls on the team who were a part of our team last year have been able to bring into this new team and kind of share that culture with the freshmen and girls who haven't been on the team before. So we always talk about two peaking at the right time. And now we're just kind of trying to build and build and build and continue to improve so that we can peak at the right time. And the coaches have set up an amazing program for us to be able to make that happen with our assignments, with our recovery, with our strength. All of it plays together to help us peak at the right time, which is in postseason. So wins and losses it's obviously awesome to win and it's never fun to lose, but it really comes down to postseason. SECs, regionals, nationals, that's when we want to be peaking and be at our best, and we're on track to be doing that.
Does that make you excited for what's ahead the next few weeks?
Yes, and we always try to look ahead and not too far in advance, but we also don't want to dwell on the past. So it makes me so excited to know what we're going into, know what we're building. Just keeping our momentum going is really exciting because it makes the future so bright for us. So I'm so excited to keep going with this team.
So that's what's ahead for this team for Alabama Gymnastics. I want to go back, though, all the way to when you were growing up and first got in the gym. First of all, tell us where you're from.
I'm from Michigan, a small city called Grosse Pointe Park. It's about 20 or 30 minutes outside of Detroit, Michigan.
And then what was your introduction to gymnastics?
So my mom was a gymnast, and she actually coached and owned a tiny gym for a little while. So she knows what the sport is about and an experience before. So fun, like in a funny way, she wanted me to do every sport but gymnastics. So I was doing soccer and swimming and dance. I think I did tennis too, but I was always just climbing around the house. So my mom ended up putting me in a gymnastics class because it's obviously safer to do it on mats than it is to do in your living room. So, and I ended up picking it up and loving it so much. And my parents are awesome. They just want me to do whatever I'm going to be happy with, and that was gymnastics for me. And so I stuck with it, but I've probably been doing gymnastics since I was 5 years old.
So was she your first coach?
No, she actually has never coached me. She wants to be the parent in this process. She's always told me I'll be your parent and I'll support you in the process, but you have your coaches for a reason, so.
Well, that's good. That's a really good way to look at it. I'm sure she's been a great sounding board resource when you do come to her with gymnastics things.
It's really awesome because gymnastics has a lot of specific terminology. If I were to tell somebody my Yurchenko or my Jaeger, not many people would be able to know what that is, but since my mom did it, she's able to understand it and be able to go back and forth with me with the terminology, whereas if I'm talking to my dad, he's just calling them somersaults and flips. So, but both of them have been so supportive. It's just really nice having my mom who understands it.
So you're starting at 5 years old, getting in the gym, and a lot of that is just, getting some exercise in and starting to learn some of the fundamentals. So when did you start really having success, both in kind of a local level and then eventually a state and national level?
So I would say in probably my later, like 4th, 5th grade, was when I kind of started picking it up. I was really tiny when I was younger, so that makes gymnastics easier. And so I was always able to learn skills pretty quickly. And in 4th grade, I started doing what's called TOPS, which is there's elite gymnastics and then there's developmental program, and TOPS is a part of elite gymnastics. So I was going in to train in the mornings before I would go to school, and then I was going to school, and then I would go to practice after school. So when I started doing those 2-a-day type of trainings was kind of when it clicked for me that I'm on the right track here. I might be pretty good at this. And then I was able to keep building with my coach's help from there. When I got to 9th grade was when I started competing level 10, and that was when I was able to start seeing more success. In levels 9 and 10, you go to regionals, and then you also go to national competitions at the end of the year. And when I was able to start qualifying for those competitions was when I also started to realize that, okay, I'm finding success in this sport, and I'm able to compete with some of the best too. So it was just a big confidence booster, and also kind of opened my eyes to the possibility of being able to do it in college and just next steps and next possibilities for me.
And Alendo, again, a lot of great honors for you during your high school career. Michigan State floor champion. Was it tough to say goodbye to floor for a little bit before you brought it back this year?
Yes, I love floor. I'm somebody who loves performing floor. Floor and beam are probably my favorite events because you get to do more than just the gymnastics, and you can perform, you can do your dance. So, and I always love smiling and connecting with the crowd or connecting with the judges. So, and you can showcase your personality really well in the floor routine too. So I've been working really hard in the gym because I wanted to get back out there on floor and be able to compete it again. So it was hard, but it also was motivation for me to want to be able to get back into those lineups.
Was there some specific music you wanted to make sure was in your music for the floor routine this year?
So Luisa Blanco helped me with my floor music. I knew there was a song, like the Shakira song in my floor routine I knew I wanted to use, but I didn't know what other songs to kind of put together. So we were working together, listening to music, mixing it in our heads and out loud. It's actually really funny for us to, if you were to listen to us going through this process, you would have thought maybe we were a little bit crazy. But I knew I just wanted a really fun routine that I can get the crowd into, I could smile with, show off my personality. So that is something that I think I've been able to accomplish with this choreography and this music, and it's really exciting that it worked out.
It certainly has for you. For you as well, you mentioned college gymnastics started to get on your mind a little bit. What was important for you when you started looking at different schools that were recruiting you, and what made Alabama stand out?
So in the recruiting process, I at first was just trying to see every single school that had a gymnastics program where I would be interested in reaching out to them, learning about it, because when you're calling and talking to these coaches, you can get an inside look into the team. Obviously, they're talking about their team culture, how they train, how they compete. So it was really important for me to just understand as many different options as I could. But ideally, I had a goal of getting into the SEC because the SEC is one of the most competitive conferences for gymnastics, and I knew I wanted to be able to compete with the best and against the best because it allows me to push myself and become better and just rise to a higher level. So the SEC was always a big goal of mine. And then when I started talking to different schools in the SECs, I came into contact with Alabama, and I had a teammate who went to Alabama, and she was always talking about it, and so it was something that was always just kind of in the back of my mind when I was talking to other schools. And Alabama is an amazing school in general, amazing athletic program, and so that was also kind of always tugging me in this direction. So when I was able to talk to the coaches, I came onto campus. I actually did a gymnastics camp here too, so it allowed me to connect with the team and the coaches. It just was such a family environment here. Alabama just does it so different than any other school, in my opinion, and the support we get as students and as athletes is next level. So it was a situation where I just couldn't say no. There was not any reason for me to say no or go somewhere different. And coming from Michigan, I also love the warm weather in the South, so that was another little added bonus for me.
Who was your teammate that competed here?
Maddie Walagora.
Okay,
yeah.
Very good. And now you get to compete against her.
Mm-hmm.
Coming up
It'll be different, but it's so exciting. It was really cool for us to go on that journey together, and then just to see her continuing to have success is good too.
Well, of course, out of high school, you signed while Coach Duckworth is still leading this program. There's a coaching change right as you're starting to get ready to be here. What was it like when you first got to meet Coach Johnston in those first conversations?
When I first met Ash, I came in and I was here for Bama Bound, which is our orientation. So I just got a chance to come into the gym. I wasn't actually able to practice yet or on campus, but I got a chance to talk to her, to meet her. She called me on the phone too, right when she took the position as head coach, which was awesome. I think it made all of us feel that she was really invested in us as people and not just she is very invested in the program too, but it made us feel very important to be some of her first people that she's reaching out to. And then I got to talk to her, which is really awesome. She was a very successful gymnast here, so she has experience in this specific program that carries over. And so to see her passion and her love for the school and this program was evident from the first time I talked to her. And then coming in my freshman summer, again, like I kind of just said it, but we joked that we're juniors, we were freshmen at the same time. So going through a new experience together, I think it really has helped shape our relationship with her as a coach and just allows us to feel really connected to her. And she's been amazing. Again, just her experience that she can speak to is so, so helpful in the gym. So her being able to share what she felt, when she was anchoring for her national championship for her team on beam. She is able to share that with us, and it's something that we can all relate to. And so it's really amazing to have a coach who can do that, and also really helps us grow and improve as gymnasts too.
And she built a really good coaching staff as well. And even
Yes.
Justin Spring, now he's like a celebrity with all the TV work he did this past year in the Olympics, right?
Yes, he went to Paris, which is so cool. We were all watching him and cheering him on. We have Ross, who came this season. He has been amazing. He coaches us on bars. They all kind of help out everywhere. Ross's main event is bars, though. And for me specifically, he's really helped me dial in on my little details, my form. He's really improved our bars. And then we have Amelia. We call her Meals. She helps us on floor mainly, but again, helps everywhere. She just brings so much energy. She's so bubbly. All the coaches work so well together. It's actually really cool when you hear their story. They've all crossed paths before coming to Alabama together. So to see them all reconnect is so cool. And again, just strengthens that family bond that we have as a team. And they work so well together. They lift us up as gymnasts and call us to a higher level of excellence. And because they know we can do it and because they want what's best for us inside the gym and outside the gym. So I'm truly so, so grateful to have them as my coaching staff. And it's amazing to see how well they work together too, because it just fosters such a great team environment.
And speaking of the Olympics, Luisa Blanco, you've already talked about in this, one of your teammates, she gets to compete on the best stage there is for Columbia. How proud of you of the steps she took this past year, and now you continue to stay in touch with her this year even?
I am so proud of her. Even now, she's still doing so much amazing stuff with her career, now getting into kind of broadcasting into that field. But watching her, we all watched her go through the process and what it took to get to the Olympics. Not a lot of people can say they saw the behind the scenes process of that, and starting from her having to join the national team, qualify at meets. She was traveling to Columbia in the summertime. She was training year round, building so many new routines, longer routines, getting old skills back, learning new skills, and just to see her work ethic through all of it was so, so amazing. And so when I was able to watch her and cheer her on at that Olympic stage, my heart was so proud of her and so full of excitement for her, because we were able to see what it took for her to get there. And so to be able to know that all her hard work paid off, and it was such an amazing end to an amazing career for her, was so fun to watch. I'm so excited for her and just really proud of the example she set in the gym and what she was able to accomplish through her hard work.
That's really good to see. And then for you, you've had some unique opportunities to serve Alabama in other ways, not just with gymnastics, but what can you tell us about your work with FCA and even traveling to Costa Rica with that group?
FCA has changed my sport. When I was younger, gymnastics was my identity. It was who I was. And that's a really easy hole, I think, for a lot of people to fall into, because we spend so much time. We're either at school or wherever we practice. For me, it was in a gym. So if practice wasn't going good, then my day wouldn't be going good. If I didn't do good at a meet, then I wasn't a good person, or I wasn't a successful person. And that's a really, really hard mindset to be in. And so through FCA, with the help of Coach Kramer and all my other friends who are athletes and involved in that, I've been able to find my identity in Christ and in my faith and not in my sport. I'm so blessed. I have been blessed with the ability to do gymnastics and the opportunity to do it here at Alabama. And I know that's a blessing that God's given me. And I just want to use it for that purpose, and not if I don't do well in a competition, or if I do well in a competition, that doesn't change who I am as a person. It doesn't change that I'm loved, that I'm a hard worker, that I'm here to serve others and help others. So it's really changed my outlook and perspective on this sport. And now I compete because of a blessing that I have, and in a way to glorify God, and not in a way to glorify myself, or because I need to do well in order to make myself feel good about myself. So it's been a process, again, because I believed in a different mindset for a very long time, but it's really helped so much, and it's also helped me have a heart of service for others too, and allowed me to want to give back to others and want to serve others more, just because I've seen what it can do for me and my mindset, and just made me fall so much more in love with the sport again. And so if I can ever give somebody else that opportunity or share that with somebody else, it's really made me want to be able to do that too.
And just how meaningful is Coach Kramer? I get to see him in baseball season all the time because he's with us on all the trips. But I mean, what a guy. I'm sure anytime you
Yes.
talk to him, you feel better.
Yeah, he is so amazing. I really got to know him through Costa Rica. I've been going to FCA since my sophomore year. So that whole year I was going to FCA, and then I really got to know him when we went to Costa Rica, and because you're spending 6 or 7 days in pretty close quarters, traveling by a van with all these people, some of the best memories ever, and that I'm so grateful for. And he is one of the most amazing, kind-hearted people I have ever met. He lives out his faith so well and just sets an amazing example for us younger athletes. And he is, again, one of the main reasons I've learned how to shift my perspective and thought process with my sport and with my identity. And he just, you can talk to him about anything. He's always there to listen to you. He's always there to help you. He gives some amazing advice. You know, you can meet one-on-one with him, or you can talk to him at the end of FCA, and he's always there for you, giving out high fives, telling us he loves us, which is honestly sometimes so nice to hear when you're away from home. And he's just become just a figure I can look up to here in Alabama, and somebody I can lean on, and a great role model for me to look to. So he has been so important through my FCA journey, and it was awesome to go to Costa Rica with him too.
That's really good. And then for you as well, you get to compete at Alabama during an NIL era. And I know some of your NIL opportunities like Pilates have really even helped you in the gym as well for what you're trying to do with your gymnastics career.
Yes, so Pilates is an amazing opportunity. They reached out to us about working with them, and so I was so excited. I've been doing Pilates for a long time. I injured my back when I was young, so Pilates is a lot about engaging your core and like working on tinier muscles. So I started doing Pilates exercises for my back to help me strengthen other muscles, so I wasn't only using my back. And so to be able to do NIL was something that has helped me become healthy in my sport and find success in my sport was just so cool, kind of full circle moment for me. So I'm so grateful for the NIL opportunities that we have, and it's just been an amazing opportunity to be able to be a part of this era of college athletics.
Well, for you, you're a student athlete. Of course, athlete's a part of it. We talked about that with gymnastics. How about at the student side? What's your focus in the classroom?
So I'm a finance and econ major, and then I'm working on a minor in Spanish as well. So I'm a numbers girl. I really love working with numbers. That's why I'm in the business field, and my studies are super important to me because as amazing as the opportunity to do gymnastics here is, it's going to be done for me. It's not something that I plan on doing after college. So Alabama is really helping me prepare for a life after gymnastics and after college. And through our business school here, I've had so many amazing opportunities and just mentorship and helping me be ready for my career. And then with Spanish as well, I'm working on making that my second language. And a lot of the courses I've been taking have been helping me to do that. And it just gives me more skills that I'm able to use in my future career. So I'm really excited about what's in the future. Trying to enjoy my years here because I know that they're so unique and such a blessing to be able to experience. I don't want to rush through that. But it's also really exciting because I feel prepared for the future. I feel like I'm going to be in a good position for it. Alabama's really preparing me for that with my studies and my education. So I'm really grateful for the opportunity to be able to come to Alabama for obviously my sport, but also the education that I'm getting here. I'm really grateful about that too.
Well, so many good moments coming up for you and the Crimson Tide, not only the rest of this year, but all throughout your career coming up. Rachel, just thank you for all the time you've given us here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Best of luck with what's coming up. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. Thank you for having me.